When I imagine a situation in which I would have serious money problems, I think of speculation. Speculation is the purchase and resale at a higher price of some goods and financial assets that are in demand in society for the purpose of profit. This is a very good method of making money from the difference in price when buying and selling. Those people who know how to speculate will never be left without money. And since I once learned this skill, now I am not afraid of any financial shocks, unless speculation becomes punishable and is prohibited from engaging in it. But since it is still possible to speculate, it means you need to be able to do this in order to earn good money. And in this article one will teach you how to make money from speculation. You need to be able to make money out of the blue, speculating with everything you can. This will make you much more adapted to life. The first thing to say is that speculation and speculators should be treated correctly. What have we been taught and are still being taught when talking about speculation? The fact that speculation is not good, or even very bad. We are told that speculators are parasites of society who produce nothing, but at the same time earn a lot of money by parasitizing on other people's work. That's how it is, but speculators provide us with their services based on our needs. Demand creates supply and the market is born, and speculators are an integral part of the market. We now have a market economy, and this means that every modern person should be able to speculate, so that if he has financial difficulties, he can feed himself and his family. As for parasites, there are plenty of them in our society even without speculators, and many of them, unlike speculators, do not bring any benefit to society at all. In a word, every sane person should understand that speculating is good, it's great, in many cases it's damn profitable and not at all difficult. People need to get rid of all their internal brakes to hell that prevent them from living well and making money. Who wants to work hard in production? Please work hard, plow. Plow in factories, plow in quarries, go down into the mines and plow there. The motherland will be grateful to you. In your offices, plow too. This is cool. This is kind of like intellectual work. Work at school for a homeless salary and then complain about it to the president, and you see, he will remember you. Remembering that a strong country also needs smart people, and not just brainless, semi-wild cattle. In general, work where you think you should work, and don't stop people from making good money from the difference in price by speculating. Is it difficult to become and is it difficult to be a speculator? Are you crazy or something to ask this question? It is difficult to become a good doctor. It is also difficult to become a teacher who respects and does not humiliate children. It is difficult to become a scientist, and even a good plumber. It is difficult to become a speculator, but not like a speculator. But because of all the breaks and crap in people's heads, they don't know how to do such a simple and at the same time profitable business for them. They don't know how to speculate. You know, when people talk about the so-called entrepreneurial vein, which is necessary for the ability to make money, I think about what natural instinct this vein should correspond to. Actually, what is required of a person to be energetic, purposeful, resourceful and enterprising? And I'll tell you what is required. He must develop feelings such as selfishness, greed, self-supremacy, lust for power, self-interest and even envy, so that a person feels uncomfortable because someone else has something that he does not have. Well, aren't all of the above human qualities condemned in our society? Don't they go against Christian canons? Didn't the communists knock out all these qualities that were harmful, from their point of view, from our people, so as not to arouse private property instincts in people? Why don't people have an entrepreneurial streak if they should have it by nature? Is it because their psyche is disfigured by all these dogmas and prohibitions? Is it because they were turned into brutes, suppressing in them all initiative and desire for a better life? And now many people do not know how to do basic things. They do not know how to buy something for a ruble and sell for 3, but instead humiliate themselves every day, working for a meager salary. A nightmare. Do you think that only communists and priests have been and are doing this? Think that they are the only ones suppressing the natural desire for a better life in a person? Nothing of the kind. Now people are also brainwashed, suppressing their natural instincts and turning them into moronic consumers. We are taught how to plow and then immediately eat what we have plowed, and not how to get the maximum result with a minimum of effort. Man must be right and live right, working for the good of society. Isn't that what we are taught? We must work, and not think or make money. I have always said that Russian and world classical literature, in large quantities, in large doses, so to speak, is poison for the human mind, as, indeed, is religious literature, if it is misunderstood. Righteousness and dogmas. This, of course, is good. No one argues with this. But they don't exist for the same reason, to live by them. Damn it. Man is first of all an animal, and only then a person. He must first take care of his body, satisfy his instincts, and only then think about higher values. We cannot make a person human unless we satisfy his instinctive needs. You cannot build a house by building only a roof. There must also be a foundation. This is an analogy. So your entrepreneurial spirit, friends, is buried under all this idealistic slag, which we absorb into ourselves like a sponge, learning a slavish lifestyle and forgetting about ourselves to our loved ones. Change your outlook on life. Start thinking about your own good, about your own benefit, and you will dig up and remain within yourself your entrepreneurial vein. After all, even a child can speculate, not to mention a healthy, educated child. Thus, to become a speculator, you need to reconsider many of your beliefs, which, if you are not already a speculator, clearly prevent you from thinking correctly. If you have read my previous articles, you must understand that I do not cultivate a parasitic lifestyle. I pay more attention to idealism than thoughtless materialism, because it is idealism that allows us to be people and not animals. But you should never go to extremes, in matters so significant to our lives, and if you are such a correct person that you cannot even really provide yourself with money, then you are definitely looking at life from the wrong angle. Therefore, I repeat once again, look at life practically. You don't need to limit yourself in those matters that allow you to make it better. You just need to control it competently so as not to turn into a eating, shitting and fucking stomach. I am not calling on you to sell everything for money, including your own mothers. I am telling you that in a market economy, buying cheap and selling expensive is normal. It is even necessary for the development of this economy and for general prosperity. It's not at all difficult to speculate. I personally became convinced of this when I first gave up plows and hoes and started increasing interest rates. You just need to be focused on profit and look for it everywhere. You see, for example, a shortage of some product in a particular place and the demand for it from the population. Look for an opportunity to get this product in order to sell it to people. And if you can't do this, then look for an imitation of this product to satisfy people's needs, at least on a psychological level. When people really want something, this is a great opportunity for a speculator to make good money from this desire. After all, the most important thing is that people have a need for something, and there is always an opportunity to satisfy it. You can also create a need for people to do something that you want them and that you can offer them, but this is a more difficult task, and I will write about how to solve it in my future articles. In general, people are now greedy for everything shiny and glamorous. They eat everything that is deliciously prepared and beautifully presented. Most people have no idea what they need or what they want to be for. They just want to be like everyone else, so that they have everything that other people have. Well, They want and want, that's their business. Let them consume, as long as people are happy, having all the toys that they want to have. And let the ideologists think about what is right and what is wrong. It was they who came up with the economy of consumption, and they should take the rap for it. We just play by the rules that exist. I mean both speculators and consumers who work for each other. And yet, what to speculate on? Maybe there is something that is profitable to do, and there is something that is not worth messing with? Friends, the more you want to speculate, the more convenient it is for you to speculate, the more you want to speculate. In fact, it is profitable for everyone to do what people demand. Some resell cars, some sell phones, and some offer people advertised miracle pills for all diseases and people buy them. Ideas may vary depending on consumer needs, your capabilities and the state of the market. It is not very profitable to offer people something that is already full everywhere. Still, being the first 1,000 seller of real American jeans made in China is now not as profitable, despite the demand for them from consumers, as, say, speculating on tablets and other glamorous pieces of iron, in which today the consumer shows increased interest and supply which is limited in some places. The main thing is not to forget to pay attention to people's needs, so as not to try to sell them what they do not want to buy. Consider demand. Do people want bananas? Great, bring them bananas, let them eat them if you're tired of your apples. Do people want jeans and gum? Well, what a problem. Sell them these clothes for workers and sweet tires, let them get high. Do people want to eat poison in the glamorous diner they saw in the movies? Well, open McDonald's, let them eat junk food, that's their business. If only the people were happy and worked, earned money and paid it to you. And you and I see that as soon as all of the above and much more was given to the people became calmer and more satisfied. Desired toy received, people are happy. Sooner or later, of course, they will get tired of all this, but for now they are ready and able to pay for what they consider valuable to themselves. So everything is fine. Speculators made people happier. Well, what are you ready to offer people? What can you make money on? Maybe you can just buy potatoes at a wholesale base and resell them at the market? Well, I know people who make very good money this way. In some cases, speculating on potatoes is more profitable than on shares on the stock market, because the most important thing in this matter is that there is demand from consumers for your offer, and that they have the opportunity to buy something from you. So also take into account the capabilities of consumers when choosing what to speculate on. We all want a lot, but our desires, as we know, do not always coincide with our capabilities. How to start speculating? You know, some people are hesitant to start speculating because they are used to working their jobs, they say. And they don't want to give it up, even if they are not paid enough. They like their work, and they don't know how to do anything other than their work and don't want to. Regarding desire, I cannot say anything, because everyone, as they say, has their own. But as for the ability, you shouldn't refer to it. Anyone can learn to speculate if they wish. Yes, I argue that every person can speculate, and there is nothing to be able to do here. This activity is available even to children. People just need to have good motivation to not just do something, but do it well. And a person is able to do something well only if he does it primarily for himself. And speculators work for themselves and for themselves, not for their uncle, but for themselves. They want to profit from their activities, not make the world a better place. Money is an incentive for them, they speculate for them. But by engaging in their selfish activities, they also make the world around them better. This also means something for a person who not only wants to earn money, but also to give some meaning to his activities. Yes, if you approach this matter wisely, that is. if you also offer the right ideology to society, and not just stimulate it with money, it is still not very interesting to live for the sake of just one consumption, then this society can be raised to a new, higher stage of development. After all, you must agree that capitalism, with all its advantages, also does not contribute in the best way to creative work. After all, when people are focused only on money, they are looking for the simplest ways to earn money, so they often move from speculation to fraud and deception, and in a form in which irreparable harm is caused to society. So you can't live anywhere without idealism, you can't live with your stomachs and hearts alone, you also need to turn on your head. Think about how useful you will be to society if you start speculating on the goods it needs, buying from you which people will experience joy. Fuel your interest in money with higher goals, and then it will be easier for you to decide on the type of activity we are discussing. As for the opportunities, in my opinion, and in my personal experience, there are plenty of them today. If you want, trade physical goods, if you want virtual ones, whatever is more convenient for you to deal with, then have it. At one time, I speculated on everything, but now, turning my gaze to the internet, I realized that you can earn good money without even lifting your ass from your chair. In my article, How to Make Money on the Internet, I wrote about how you can engage in speculation on the internet. You can study this material if, like me, the internet is closer to you for earning money than something else. You can sell people anything, they are willing to pay for everything, as long as you are in the right place, and as long as your offer looks beautiful. It is especially profitable to sell what people are offered on TV, because the advertised goods are perceived by people as status goods. Since they advertise something, it means it is something worthwhile. There is strength behind this product. Behind it there are respectable people who will not offer bad things to the people or consumers. The crowd is primitive and straightforward. In principle it is not capable of thinking. It only reacts stupidly to everything that shines and looks beautiful. Therefore, it is important to be able to play on people's feelings by speculating and not try to use their brains. Otherwise you will not only not sell anything to people, but they will also hate you. People don't like to think, especially about how stupid they are. Therefore, when you decide to engage in speculation, try to speculate on what is well advertised, even if we are talking about complete crap. It's not about the product, it's about its image, what feelings it evokes in people. A baboon needs his admiration for other baboons, so there is some shiny and squeaking thing that evokes this admiration. He will sell the last shirt, but buy it. You, as a speculator, only need to be in the right place with this thing at the right time. Speculator is generally not so much an entrepreneur as a wizard who gives birth to people what they, in their opinion, need. People want some product, the speculator gets it for them. Once upon a time, people were ready not to eat for a whole year, just to save up money for a lot of money, so that they could then look at it like stupid American militants, who make you even dumber. Well, how could it be possible not to satisfy their need? How could people not get this toy? Many people made a lot of money from selling these species. They just took out these species and resold them at an awesome markup. Today people also want a lot of things. Seize the moment, speculate, make money on this human material that capitalists carefully grow for a market economy. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? Suddenly all these bans will begin to be introduced again. This is impossible. Then it is impossible. You and I will not be able to do anything, but the chosen ones will be able to do anything. So money needs to be made today by buying and reselling whatever people want. This is better than working for a salary, since speculation develops a person's hunting skills, while working for the owner turns him into a yard dog. Do you want to work at a factory, for a shameful salary, especially for a man? Do you want to die in the fields? growing food for arrogant pig-nosed hogs that don't hit a finger. Do you want to drag barges along the Volga? For some reason it seems to me that no, you don't want to. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but who knows where we'll go tomorrow. Maybe we'll get to the point of barge haulers. So speculate while you have the opportunity. Chop the money, don't die for money. The speculator's main goal, of course, is profit. Everything he does as a speculator, he does for the sake of money. As a matter of fact, if a speculator did not think about money, he would not be a speculator, he would be anyone, but not a speculator, because for speculators the culture of thinking itself is involved in money. Speculators are always looking for something to profit from. To buy something like this and then resell it in order to make a profit. These people are hunting for money. And today you can speculate on many things, even with air. Let's say, trading on the Forex market and trading on the stock market is pure speculation, which brings good profits to the luckiest, or better yet, the most advanced speculators. But if in order to trade on the stock exchange and Forex exchange you need to have certain knowledge, after all, it is better not to meddle there with 3 classes of education. Then you don't need much intelligence to speculate on consumer goods. You can see for yourself who is trading in our markets. These are far from intellectuals. And what's interesting is that they don't earn money small, they buy houses, apartments, cars by engaging in trade, or rather speculation. Yes, don't say anything, and speculating has always been profitable, although not very interesting. Still, buying something and then reselling it at a higher price is not like creating something. Speculators do not produce anything, do not create anything, they simply resell something created and invented by someone. And if we talk about the Forex exchange and the stock market, then they generally resell air to each other. But they make good money and society needs their services, so being a speculator is profitable, and in my opinion, also prestigious. After all, people feed themselves, and do not humiliate themselves in front of slave owners for a meager salary. How can they not be respected for this? By doing their small and at the same time big business, speculators bring more joy and happiness to this world, satisfying the needs of consumers and making good money from it.